Hello there. Today, we are going to be talking about why I think it is particularly important for graduate students to maintain a backup of their files. Now, you might be thinking, hey, my computer's 6 months old, or a year old, or 2 years old. Maybe when my computer's 4 years old, I'll need to worry about a backup, but not now. And you're probably correct. You probably won't see corruption issues or hard drive failure in a 2-year-old computer. But it is possible. Just like it's possible that your computer could be dropped, liquid damaged, or stolen. Now, you're probably not convinced by listing off the things that could happen. Maybe it's a 1% chance that any of those 4 things happen to you, and it's probably less than a 1% chance that any of those things happen to you. But think about the data that's on your computer now that you're a graduate student. It's no longer just your files for a class. It's no longer just something that you spent a couple hours or a couple days working on, or in some cases a couple weeks working on. You're starting to move into areas where you're working on long-term projects. Think about a master's thesis. If I lose my computer in the spring semester that's coming up, I will have lost, and I don't have a backup, I will have lost, say, 3, 4, or 5 months worth of research that I have done preparing for my thesis defense. That's going to set me back a long way if I have to go back and find those articles or rewrite my introduction section or rewrite my methods, refine the IRB that I was going to submit. That's a lot of work. Or think about the research you're doing in a faculty lab. I'll be working on the same project for most of my 2 years at SFA. And at this point, if I lost that data, I would have lost 2 semesters worth of data if I didn't have a backup. Think about if I lost it in the spring, this next coming spring, I would have lost 18 months worth of data. Or think about as a teaching assistant instead of research assistant. Think about those 6 hours you spent grading papers, putting comments in so that you could return them to students next week. Think about losing that and having to go through that process again. Sure, it'll be faster the second time, but why would you want to do that again? Why would you even want that to be a possibility? And so with the types of data that I store, it's just not worth not having a backup. And this is just for my personal computer. When it comes to my university computer, there's no telling what's going on there. It's certainly, if you're not willing to back up your personal computer because it's 6 months old, at least back up your university computer. There's no telling exactly how old it is, whether a component has been replaced or not. You don't know if you're dealing with a 6-year-old computer with a 6-year-old hard drive or a 6-year-old computer with a 6-month-old hard drive. You also don't know if the university is going to update that computer over the summer or during Thanksgiving break. And the program that you were using to collect data, let's say, MATLAB's a bad example because they're pretty forward-backward compatible, but let's say MATLAB, all your data's in MATLAB, and they update it, and MATLAB only worked on Windows 7. Now you can't reliably access that data. You're going to have to see if you can move back to Windows 7 and get the data there, and it's just a giant mess. So if you're not willing to back up your personal computer, at least back up your university computer because it's much more unreliable and has a much more tenebrous past than your own computer. So hopefully you join me in backing up your computer, and hopefully we never need those backups. But if we do, it sure is nice to have them. Well, until next time, cheers.